Targa didn't start his layer right away. He kind of sat there with 100 gas, 200 gas. We're like, what's he doing with all this gas, Kev? What's he going to do?
You know you can never say that anyway.
What you going to do with all that gas?
Oh,
Would
Ben,
you like to-
Ben tries to make a serious point about StarCraft.
Would you like to explain the joke to everybody at home?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are wondering, but like a few weeks ago we were casting a game and we were really wondering what the player was going to do with all that gas. So we were like, what you going to do with all that gas inside your trunk? I'm going to get you drunk, get you a little bit drunk off my gas. But yeah, now Ben just tried to make a very serious point, but the moment you said it, you knew that it was going to go wrong. Like, what you gonna do with all that gas, man? No, but make your point, man.
All I was going to say is maybe he could have had the Spire a little bit faster. I don't know if it would have made a difference. I don't think he could have had it much faster than he did. But
if only he was able to do something with all that gas.
if only. If only he had been able to do something with all that gas.
We'll see, man. Targa once more is going for the 14th pool. Of course, Targa is our Norwegian Australian Zerg spawning on the left top side of Antiga Shipyard. And Puzzle is our Korean Protoss spawning on the right bottom side of Antiga. Puzzle had a great season so far. He started off rough, had to play Moro the very first play day. He won on Daybreak, and I still remember that. And then he lost the next 2 games, of which one of them was on Ohana. I don't know what the other one was on anymore. But those were absolute great games. I think if I would try really hard to remember that, man, I might know it.
I think it had to be Daybreak.
Yeah, but Daybreak was the first map. Like Puzzle won Daybreak against Moro, he lost Ohana.
Moro won on Ohana, and then the last map.
Maybe it was Belshire. Was Shikura's? I don't think it was. I think maybe it was Belshire.
No, Puzzle wouldn't have chosen Belshire.
I don't know what it was.
Because the second map was definitely Ohana.
Yep, I remember that. Or maybe it was third map.
Targa taking
maybe it was Antiga.
Taking his third base as his natural because Puzzle was in the blocking mood. Threw down the pylon in Targa's natural. So it's going to be 3 base Zerg against 2 base Protoss most likely.
Forge before Nexus this time on Antiga. Maybe Puzzle just a little bit more worried, wants to play it safe. Targa's not making a lot of links though, man. As we can see, only 2 links, and he's just going to try to drop the 3 hatches standard as quick as possible. And then I think Targa's going to be quite okay, man, with how this played out. Because as we see, this is a minor investment from Puzzle. He's going to end up losing that pylon, and he also went Forge before Nexus. So Targa's going to have pretty much the most economical opening for Zerg possible. And Puzzle, well, man, he's going to have to puzzle his way back into this game.
I think he's going to be able to do just that. Targa picks off the pylon and manages to spot the hidden probe there.
Yeah, that's very big.
In the back of his natural. That is always an important thing.
And look at Targa, man. He only made 2 links. So greedy. Well, not greedy, but it's just so economical.
It is greedy. I mean, if Puzzle had put a gateway down, that gateway would have been alive forever, and Targa would not have been able to take that third base.
I do that sometimes.
I think it's pretty good when the Zerg player only makes 2 links.
Yeah, I did it the other day against Ohana, but I failed it miserably. It's like I had like pylon, and then I built a gate, and then I went to the turret, but this for them was Ohana, so it's like a little bit different. I put pylon here, and then like finally the Zergling spawned, and then take out the pylon. But by the time they took out the pylon, my gate was already 85% complete, so I kind of had to cancel it, or I would let it complete. But then it would kind of be a big investment and seem like a waste of money. So I basically had this gate going up all the time, but then by the time my pylon was taken out, I had to cancel my gate. And I was like looking at my screen, I was like, well, that was not very smart. I definitely could have done that a little bit better.
Happens to the best of us.
Those timings, man. I just don't have my timings.
That gateway cancel timing?
Well, it's one that you have to learn. We see a couple of zealots making their way to the other side of the map. Perhaps Puzzle realized that Targa barely had any links on the map. Only showed 2 links. And we can see this first zealot man arriving. There is a queen here though, so with beautiful micro, Targa is not going to lose anything.
Queen Durlisk against this zealot. We'll see how it plays out. Like a machine gun. Ah, drones! Good
Nice
control
micro
by Targa already.
So far, so good, man. The Zealot running very low on HP, and the Zealot will fall without killing a single drone. The Probe is gonna get his minus scout off in the main base, but it's so hard to scout against Zerg these days as Protoss, at least in this phase of the game. And Puzzle just realized that once more.
Perfectly done by Targa. Takes 0 losses there and ends up making a grand total of 6 Zerglings. So all good on Target's side of the map. He looks like he's going to play a pretty standard Roach-centric style on Antiga. He's got the Evo Chamber going down, Roach Warren going down, both around the same time.
Yeah, I was just like, I was having a little argument.
Man, look at Targa showing off with the Zergling
pretty
control.
sick micro here by Targa at the middle of the map. Beautiful control indeed.
How often do you see 0 units lost for Zerg and 4 lost for Protoss?
Very, very rarely.
Finally, this Stalker's going to get a kill.
2 kills.
Good control by Puzzle, too. Focusing down the low HP Zerglings.
It's these minor things, and maybe they don't even matter all that much. Of course, 1 or 2 links can always be useful just to put them on patrol somewhere. But it's also just really nice for you mentally. Like it really gives you momentum when you just kill a Zealot and you don't lose a single drone, and then you surround the Zealot and you don't lose a single Zergling. It just makes you feel really, really good in the game.
What?
Allows you to bring your A game.
Big gateway all-in coming here from Puzzle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gates. And Targa right now already producing roaches.
Actually, this is not all that quick, the way that this game played out early game, man. It's also because it was Forge before Nexus and then Cannon before Gate. This push is not going to be all that quick, and Targa's making a ton of units already.
Yeah, he's got 55 drones. This is about the point in the game where you say to yourself, all right, I need to get some units out just to be safe. And apparently that's what he's doing. He's also managed to kill all the probes that were out on the map, so there's no pylons on his side of Antiga. He doesn't have to worry about warp-ins really close to his natural. Now he sees it moving. It's huge. Should prompt more units, and it does. 8 more roaches in production.
And he wants to counter as well. I love how active Targa is right now with these links. Of course, he doesn't want to end up losing these links. He's going to try to pick up the probe, and that would be the sickest pickoff of all time. He's
going to just get right in here on the fight. Kills the probe immediately. And the Lings scurry away, and this is going to be very, very difficult for Puzzle to make this work at this point.
Yeah, Puzzle's going to wipe in a lot of units right now. A lot of those units are gas-expensive units as well. Targa once more gets the confirmation that this is not some fake aggression. This is the real deal. And if he defends this, he's going to be in really good shape. He's 54 against 36 right now, Ben. Has a little bit of creep threat. Beautiful force fields right there by Puzzle. Picks off 3 roaches. Well, this pylon is being MVP right now.
Puzzle is up to 8 gates, Kev, and he's just making sentries and stalkers. Targa, if there's anything working against him, is that he's not getting burrow. He's got the money for it. I don't really understand why he would get speed and not burrow. This push is getting dangerously close to his 3rd base.
So many sentries. Force fields are really going to be key. Cuts off a few roaches, not all that many. Targa's setting up a small sentries, but these roaches, it's just not enough, man.
I don't think it's going to be enough. He'll manage to kill a couple of stalkers, but he's going to lose much more than he's going to kill there. Targa should...
Now we can just temporarily back off, like just let these force fields expire, even though more and more units are streaming in. But if Targa is able to fight now with all 14 roaches that are in production, anything might still be possible, man.
Spine Crawler's not going to be allowed to finish. They're only going to get a single shot off. And all of a sudden, this is looking really, really hard for Targa. Puzzle bearing down with everything. Targa forced to pull drones now. And they're not going to add a whole lot to this fight. The workers all melt away, and Puzzle, I thought this push was crushed, is actually on the giving end of the crushing blow. Targa's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, Targa's really in a lot of trouble. He was just never able to get a big units out. Then he was able to fight his army straight away, and beautiful force fields by the Korean Protoss player. Cut off not too many units, but just all the time 3-4 units, and that really adds up in the long run. Targa tries to make a final stand over here. He played a beautiful opening in the game, but this one pylon going up over here on the left side of the map, that really hurted him quite a bit.
Yeah, and I'm going to again say that not having burrow was kind of instrumental in this defeat. Again, Burrow's the same upgrade time as Roach Speed. Roach Speed finished. How much better off would he have been if he'd have just been able to burrow those roaches when the force fields go down? He would have never really had to cope with that army with just sections.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wouldn't really have thought of that. So you would actually prefer Burrow over Roach Speed?
Well, he had money for both.
Oh, okay.
But in this case, if it was one or the other, yeah, with no
because there are so many sentries anyway that it doesn't even matter if you have speed or not, because the force fields are going to go down anyway.
He's fighting on creep.
Yeah, that's a good point, Ben. I wouldn't have brought it up, but I think you're quite right. We see the fight once more, but like soon, Ben, look in the production tab. Not sure, like right now, it's 116 against 88. And I just feel that like he doesn't have to take this fight. These force fields on the left side, they're not going to expire.
He also moved up there,
Yeah.
Which would have maybe changed it a little bit if he could have.
But like, look now, he has quite some roaches north, he has quite some roaches left, and he has 14 roaches in production. Imagine if he's just able to temporarily get out of there and then fight with everything. I know that that's probably going to be impossible, but even if he just gets 10 of those roaches and then pulls drones, maybe it's a different scenario. But beautiful voices from Puzzle never really allowed Targa to do anything like that.
Yeah, great job by Puzzle. He does take the series. Never bet against your heart, Kev. That's the last time I take my own advice.
Well, Ben, if you go casino tonight, play against your heart. I think you do a lot better.
That's probably good advice. Puzzle takes out Targa 2-0. We're going to play a short commercial. Then it's Idra versus Rhett when we get back.